Everybody looking all shy.
A little nervous or hey, don't be nervous, man. Look, we just chilling, conversations, truly, like just vibe, like like you with your girl, it's pool party, just had conversations, nothing serious, nothing scripted, just your thoughts, your opinions. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's really what we're doing. But yeah, thank you for tuning in again another Sunday. As usual, Peter. That's that's me, and we have these lovely ladies here.
Hi, I'm Xiomara. Hi, I'm Angela. Hi, I'm Embler.
Hey everybody, I'm John.
Cool. So, if you're watching, if you're in the chat, let us know if you can hear us well, if you can hear us properly. Let us know if if something's off. Just feel free to drop it in the chat so we can adjust what we need to adjust. So yeah, if you can hear us, let us know. Let us know if it's clear enough. If it's wobbly, let us know so we can adjust stuff so you guys can, participate properly. Also, if you're watching and you're not in the chat, if you want to chat with us, go ahead and jump straight to YouTube. Just go youtube.com, search for cTalkTV, and you should see the live feed right there at the top. Click on that, and you'll see the chat box right below. Just go ahead and chat. And you probably would have to sign into your Gmail. You need to have a Gmail. But yeah, other than that, if you don't want to chat, just keep watching. Also, do us a solid. Share the link with your friends so they can hop in as well, so we can all, participate. Yeah, good question. Sammy says, "Where's Caesar?" Caesar's a little down with the weather today, so but we hope he's keeping safe. But he just let us know he'll be able to make it because he wasn't feeling too good. But yeah, that's what it is. Before we actually start, I just wanna we lost a good person today in Nigeria. What's his name? Sound Sultan. Like that guy, you know Davido Whiskey. Like if you don't know Sound Sultan, like that. These people are nothing less than this. Let me not say that, but he paved the way for these young cats. But he passed away today. We just pray that God be with his family and just be with them at this time of grief. But yeah, Nick is asking again what Caesar is. Caesar was not able to make it for he wasn't feeling too well. So, but we're definitely gonna schedule him again another time. So yeah, I know most of y'all probably tune in because of him. He's not here, but you can still stay and vibe with us if that makes sense. But yeah, man, yeah, okay. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump to it, man. How y'all feeling?
Y'all feeling good? You drinking those nerves away?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, man, we'll go ahead and jump straight to it. Like I said, conversations, vibes. This is straight, like you just be in your pool party, chilling, just rapping, chopping it up. That's all it is. Your opinions are your opinions. Just go. If you want to curse, call somebody out. Feel free. Yeah. Not gonna say nothing. We're just gonna act like we ain't here and we keep moving. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Front situation. One of my guys says, before I even drop this, let me ask y'all this. In relationships, are y'all a big fan of, oh, you got to stand on me, blah, 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 or how does that go with y'all? Y'all big fan of, oh, my man has to stand on me, period. And it goes to guys too. I'm the type of guys I always want to stand on our women to show them, flex that, build muscle.
I mean, I'm cool with it. Like, it's not something like, oh, you have to do this and stuff, because I kind of am 50-50. Like, I don't mind splurging on my man and whatnot, but it is nice to be wine and dine. Like, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying before I drop this bomb.
Go ahead.
I have to agree. I'm a giver, so
Yeah.
I think that you should give to me as well. I like to be courted. So it's not like if you don't, we're done, but I would like for you to be generous.
Like love languages, gifts is actually my fourth one, so it's down there.
Okay.
I don't really care for gifts or like things like that. I'd rather do like quality time, have you with me. But if you want to buy me some bundles, I'm not gonna be mad. If you want to drop some bundles at my door, if you want to, just surprise me a little bit, I'm gonna be mad,
You said it's your fourth one?
Yeah, it's like at the bottom. My first one is quality time, and then it's acts of service.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a guy, I like to, I I don't mind spending, but when it becomes a thing of you must, I'm not with that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
with
that's
that
a fine
same
line
vibe,
between
yeah.
gold digger and
Yeah.
using somebody. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump into this. So, this is a text from a guy. He says, one of my guys keeps telling me, if you love her, then spend on her till she becomes too expensive for other guys to afford, right? He says, I think it is dumb as fuck to entertain any kind of advances from another guy, whether I spend on her or not, right? And then he says, why are we basing the sustainability of a relationship on how much money I spend on her? Right? How, yeah, what? So it's a lot of things going on here. First thing is, if you love her, then spend on her. Why do we have to put those two together? If you love her, then spend on her. Why do I have to spend on you to show you that I love you? If that makes sense.
I would.
No, you can say it.
I wouldn't say you have to spend on me, but take care of me like we taking care of each other. I don't know if you've heard about this new story that was going on Twitter about this guy went on vacation with his girl, and he makes 3 times her paychecks, but they split things 50-50. And in order to go on the trip, she basically only had to eat like once or twice a day. And he let her eat like that. He just watched her and was just like, and then when they got home, he was just like, hey, I heard your stomach grumbling. I don't know, are you having an eating disorder or something? And she was just like, nah, I just couldn't afford to do the things that I wanted to do because I couldn't pay for it. But he makes 3 times her paycheck.
What was this?
This was on Twitter recently. Everybody was just like talking about it. And it almost like goes in with what you're saying. Like, you don't have to spend on me, but don't let me die. don't let me die. Like, you don't have to spend on me. We don't have to like just dine out all the time. But if you see a girl struggling or going through it or looking sick, like buy me some Benadryl, buy me something. Like, take care of me, please.
Acts of love and kindness. Yeah.
So I guess the other thing here to it is, well, the backstory, there's a little bit backstory between it. So the girlfriends are friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 guys involved, their girlfriends are friends. So this one's feeling some type of way that, okay, now you're doing this with your girl, and it works for your fine. But now your girl is going to tell my girl that, hey, look, this is what he's doing. What's up? You see what that's doing? It's just like, okay, she's not telling him, hey, look, oh, well, this is what X does for his girl, and they go like, he spend. And then so now he's looking like, and she's looking at him like, when are you going to spend on me like that? I guess where I'm going with it is, relationships shouldn't be solely based on what can you, and especially it's always on the guy, unfortunately, the guy is the one that always has to do that means you have to spend on me. Take me here, fly me there. If that makes sense. So, how would y'all respond to that? Do y'all want, I get it, everybody wants a little bit of, do something nice for me, but it should kind of be both ways, so to say. You shouldn't just be the guy and say, hey, the girls be telling the guy, oh, when are you going to do this to me? Or when are you going to take me out? Oh, you haven't dined me this week. Oh.
I feel like it should be a little bit of both, because I've been with men who are like just, balling or whatever and stuff, and they were like, oh, because I'm doing XYZ for you, that means I love you and stuff, but I didn't feel loved. I just had all these nice things and whatnot, and then I've been with people who, were making enough or whatever and stuff, and they were super thoughtful. I just want a little bit of both, like, take me here and there and stuff. It doesn't, I think the thought counts the most, like, like when somebody's like, oh, I bought these flowers, I got you a card, and I ran you a bathroom. Like, I would be like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Like, women like stuff like that, and I don't think it's just solely based off of, trips and money. I mean, that's fine and stuff, but, like, a little bit of both. And it should be 50-50 too, yeah.
That part. I think that's the main part that most, I don't say women, but they miss. A lot of women just feel like it's the man's
It's just the receipt and stuff, yeah.
So when you say 50-50, you talking
Well, I'm
about?
saying, like, as far as, like, okay, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, like, it's just not solely based on him making me happy or me feeling like he's wine and dining me and stuff. Like, I should be like, oh, okay, babe, like, get dressed, let's go out and stuff. Like, it's just giving. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you take me on a trip, I'm taking you on a trip. Like, it's nice to do something for the other person versus the other person just feeling like, oh, I'm just the person giving out and stuff or whatever.
So you don't mind spending on me?
I don't mind. Like, I take my men on dates and stuff or whatever and stuff, and he's really appreciative. I gave him roses the other day. Like he was like, "Oh, okay, never got no roses."
Oh, you gave him a rose?
Yeah, I gave him roses, a dozen of roses. He was like, "What the?" He was like, "What the hell is this?"
Did he smell the rose? Or
He was like, "Oh, this how they smell." Yeah, he did. He was like, "Okay." So I just think it's nice
That's
to do
awesome.
something for the other person. I've been on both ends, just receiving all the time and stuff, and like it's nice to give.
Yeah.
That's a good. So what do y'all as ladies? What do y'all think when you see, because it's out there? You see a situation where a woman is always saying, hey, I can't be with you if you don't, because it happens. Oh, I can't be with you if you can't pay my bills. I can't be with you. You can't.
I just wonder where people get these standards from. Is this something that's taught in your household, or you learn on social media?
It's
Like,
social
what
media.
are you looking at that's
Social
making
media.
you think that this is an actual norm? Because you just made me think about that one video. There was a girl that was used to her man treating her a certain way, and I think they broke up, but she still expected him after breaking up to still uphold
Oh, yeah, I watched
like her daily expenses, paying for her apartment. But they broken up. He's
they
moved
weren't
on.
married?
Yeah, they weren't together
Oh,
anymore.
Oh.
But she expected it, so it's like, yo, where are people actually getting? And she was serious. Like there was no doubts in her mind from about what her lifestyle is supposed to be and whether or not he's supposed to upkeep that. And I was just, what was that?
No, because I watched that video.
Okay, okay.
So initially I was like, what? Girl, are you crazy?
Yeah.
But then after I watched it, I was like, okay, well, you can blame her because she obviously is living this fantasy and doesn't have anything to show for it. So that when I say that, she was able to say, if he stops, I'm homeless. If he stops, I won't have a car. So that's sad on your part.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't have that much financial control over you that if he stops, you are literally at a shelter. No.
I mean, unfortunately,
But-
that's how it is for a lot of people.
But he's a goofy. Because I'm sorry, he's a goofy. She's in a relationship with a man right now, and you're still paying her loft in her car?
That's
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
Madness.
Heavy on the
Yeah.
madness. So I was like, no. No, I was like, he's a goofy, and I'm sorry, sis, but you're one too. So at the end of the day, I think the whole situation was just terrible. It was a
Yeah.
terrible situation. Overall, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to realize it's not just social media, because there are people being raised to only date or marry a certain type of guy. So it's like ingrained in them since they were young.
No, that is true.
Like literally.
Even if they treat them bad,
Even
yeah.
if they treat them bad, they're
Like he got money and stuff, it doesn't matter. Like he's
Yeah.
taking care of
If
you,
he's
or
taking
his
care of
doctor.
you.
Like like they'll
Yeah.
literally
You can't
push
push
for that.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's literally, it's not even just social media, it's how I was raised, it's what my family believes in. Not my family, but I'm just saying. Let me just clear it up. But it's what their family believes in.
Now, that's a good point. That's a crazy good point. Like, if you're raised a certain way and you're used to seeing a certain thing,
That's what you're
you just gotta
saying.
go with that.
Yeah.
That's wild. Childish as fuck, but yeah. But no, I want to talk about this situation. I don't know if y'all saw this stuff that was going around social media this last week. This dude earns, I guess, maybe almost 6 figures. I don't know. I can't remember. He put his girl through school for over 2.5
Oh, I saw that.
years.
Yeah.
And then she gets a new job. She's earning $70,000 a year, which is decent. And he tells her, look, okay, I've been waiting for you to get this job. You finally got this job. I don't like my job as much. It's good money. I don't like it as much. My mentor is not mentoring
I'm
properly.
trying to see where this is going. Yeah.
You know? You see, so his mentor was no longer mentoring properly. He was like, I'm done. I need to find a
He
new,
needed a break.
you know, I need a break. And so he told her, look, you have this job now, so I need a month to figure out myself. I want to leave this job. Give me a month to find something better that's not going to be draining me mentally anymore. But in that month, I want you to hold this down. She said no. She said, no, I can't do this.
Yeah, she was also saying he needed to see a therapist, or he said he needed to see a
He's
therapist.
saying this,
Yeah.
she's telling him, well,
You
go
can
see
work
your
it.
therapist, but keep that job at the same time. Let them walk you through your workings. So, like, how does that sit in y'all's head? Like, I mean, from a guy, I can say from a guy, of course, it's stupid because I'm a guy, he's a guy, I'm with him where he's at. But I don't know if y'all see that in a different light. Because you guys are women, and she's a woman. Her excuse was, number one, I didn't wait this long to get this job to come on and spending money on the man. She said, I would never spend money on no nigga. She said that. And keep in mind, this man been spending money on her for 2.5 years. He put you through school, Lou. For 2.5 hours, 3 years. And then this is what she's saying. I mean, again, you guys are women. I don't know if y'all see something that we don't see in that situation. Because a couple of people were siding with her, if that makes sense. They were saying, yeah, she owes her money and blah, 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 blah. So, what do y'all think about that?
I feel like if it was at a mutual understanding, like, okay, you're gonna be off for this amount of time, like, don't just quit your job indefinitely and stuff. But if you were like to say, okay, you need a month and whatever, I would feel, you know, like, oh, this is me showing my appreciation. Definitely, you know, take your mental break or whatever and stuff. Like, I wouldn't see a problem with it. But are you going back to work? Like, you know, because we can have, you know, a joint income, whatever. But I'd be okay with that. Y'all wouldn't, like, nobody quiet.
Don't wait on their responses.
Wait, so he's quitting because he hates his job?
No, he need a mental break.
He
You
needs a
know,
mental break.
going to work, he said, I hate his job. He said he's depressed. That's what he said. Yeah.
It's probably coming from the job. So it could be, the job could be the problem. And he wants to take a month to see things through and figure out if he wants a new job, something new. But he just needs her to hold them down for a month.
Okay. Okay.
What if it was the other city? Just 1 month, right?
So
Yeah.
30 business days.
Yeah. So I know you're going back.
No, like, yeah,
Yeah.
because, you know, you may get lax and start feeling like,
Yeah. So
a football game on, you relaxing, you supposed to look for jobs, you're not, you know, I'm going Sunday fun day, you're not looking for a job. No, it's too much.
No.
So I do understand that you held me down while I was in school. But at the same time, you can't, because 30 days can turn into 6 months.
You're right.
And we really just have to sit down and map out everything first
Yeah.
before you put a 2 weeks in.
And that's good, and that's facts, and that makes sense because then you're willing to come to the table and work something out.
yeah.
But what you?
I feel like I'm a different breed. Like I'm just a different person because this scenario wouldn't even happen to me because I wouldn't feel comfortable with him putting me through school. Like if he was my husband,
Yeah.
then it would be different. But it's like if I can just leave you today, tomorrow, like I don't want to be tied or feel like I am in debt
Because
or I
he
owe
does,
something.
yeah.
Like I owe somebody something. So that would make me uncomfortable in the first place to even be put in that situation because it's always like something in return. Because now he's just like, well, I put you through school. Can you do this for me?
Well, even if y'all been together for so long, I'm sorry.
No,
Like, what if y'all been together for a very long time and you like know this is gonna end with marriage or whatnot? Like, you still wouldn't allow, you know?
I still wouldn't feel
You
comfortable.
really?
Yeah, I still wouldn't feel
Oh.
comfortable with him doing that because that's a huge amount of
Yeah.
money to put. It's not like I'm going to get a certificate or doing something. You're like investing more than you're up there with my parents. Like the same way my parents put me through school, you put me through school. So now it's like I would just feel like no matter what happened, let's say I become this person because of this degree, I still owe it to you. It's because of you. Because if you weren't involved, I probably wouldn't be here. So I don't really like that. I'm that type of person. I don't really want someone to be able to take credit for making me, or like even my parents. Like I don't.
Is it really taking credit for him?
No, but like it's
Because
you
you
have.
put in the work, but
Yeah.
this person was just somebody that God allowed to be in your life to be able to allow your dreams and your aspirations to come through. Because these are your dreams. It doesn't have to be school. It can be maybe you wanted to start a business or whatever it was, but you needed something to fuel, and this person was that person.
I feel like I get it, but with the person that I am, I would still feel in debt because like I told you, I'm the act of service type of person. So it's like you serve me, I serve you kind of thing. So if you do this for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's done this so much for me. So then I would feel like I have to do it for you. Like I have to be okay with you taking this month off because you put in the work needed for me to
So what's
get
wrong
to
with
the
that?
place. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Like if I was okay with him paying for my school, I'm definitely okay with you taking a month. Like that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
I'm fine if we're doing it, but don't be thinking like you're about to be a stay-at-home husband or something. Like don't be thinking like this is your new
Yeah.
full-time profession.
Yeah.
I don't like
That's not.
just it's fine. Let's just go from me being okay with him paying for my school. Yeah, I'm cool with it, 100%. Let's do it, but let's be planning accordingly. Let's understand like there's a deadline to this, or even if there's not, let's be honest. don't be planning in your head to take 6 months and be telling me it's 1 month. Like, let's just be honest. Like, what's going on with, are you okay? What do you need? If you need the therapy, take the therapy. But don't just try to, be deceptive.
That makes sense. All right, check this out. Plot twist. So he turns around and says, boom, got you. I was just testing you. I knew you were not going to support me. He said he was just testing her to see where she was at. And then she showed her true colors and it was like, we're done. He said he just want to see how she would react to that situation. And then she really showed her true colors. It was like, we're done. No more relationship. He was getting ready to propose. They got a ring and everything. How do y'all feel? That's really what it was. He just wanted to test her to see what's up. I mean, he did say, he was truly going through something. He was already getting checked, but he just put it out there the way he put it, just to see where she was at and what she would do. Because this is someone he wants to spend the rest of his life
That's a little childish.
I
I gotta be honest. That's a little childish on his part.
Too childish.
He could have found a different way to find out whether or not that was the person that would be with. Like,
I mean, he was truly going through something.
Dang.
He really was, but he already started seeing it. The only thing that he didn't tell her, he was already seeing a therapist, but he didn't tell her he had already seen one.
yeah.
He was already going through and taking care of stuff, but he just put it to her level to see where she was at, and she did that, and it was like, God showed me who you really are.
What is the point of that?
You see?
Why?
No, but look.
I feel like if you're gonna do a joke like that, it stems from somewhere. So he might have already felt.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because doing that out of the blue,
Of course.
you may.
No, he planned it. Like, he was just like, this girl's
Yeah, he probably
acting different.
Yeah.
That's my mind. What about you? I'm with you. What's that? 97, 2000. God, thank you, of us. Anyway. Alright, let's run through the comments real quick. Let's not forget the people. Let's see. Larry says, I think it's okay to hold him down for a while he sorts out his mental health issues. Mazine, I don't know how to pronounce that. Mazi. He said, this person says, I don't think she's scared of help. She'd rather be self-sufficient to help. Oh, I think that's what Embler was saying. Embler is not scared of help. I'm believing that's what they're talking about. She would rather be self-sufficient to avoid being in debt and to also avoid someone holding a looming guilt over her head for the rest of her life. She's well thought. Woo! Yeah, you know this person.
Who is it?
Alright, so Preston says, I do an Embler. I wouldn't want to invest that type of money in someone who isn't my wife. You may think it's long term and leading to marriage, but that's not certain. Okay. And Grace says, all right, is that the same old Grace? She said, all right, embolistic. All right, let's see. Adela said, test what? They should just come and be going with their separate ways. She's not going to support. He's playing testing, all this for what? Okay, and...
Another thing Mason did say, I'm not financing your career and school path if you're not my wife.
Hello?
No, that's facts. That is facts. I mean, but then people will play that card of, hey, you're already going to be with me, you're going to...
Yeah.
But together, what's the difference?
So back to what you said though. So if it's your husband, then you don't feel like you would be the one to hold that over your head, like, okay, I did this for you.
I feel like some husbands would, unfortunately, but it's not like my default thought. It's
Right.
like when we decided to actually be in this covenant together, we promised, like, you have my back, I have your back. So whatever that may look like, that's how it's gonna be. So I'm not gonna just enter it thinking, oh, he might hold this over me, because if he's that
But
type
if
of
he's
person,
your boyfriend, then you would like, well,
yeah,
this
it's
person-
like if he's that type of person, why would I
Gotcha.
marry him in the
Okay.
first place?
Oh, and somebody dropped in the comment that we forgot to add that he said he did have opportunities lined up. So yeah, he did say, I already have some things lined up, but just give me a month.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and jump to the next conversation. I'm gonna take this last comment. Grace also says that testing partners during the relationship to see what they will do is manipulation. Just have open conversations with your partner. Is it really manipulation though? Because
It seems a little childish.
it does seem a little childish, but at the same time, we don't know the history as far as how they do their relationship, communication-wise, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like that came from a place of he's seeing certain things, he's trying to adjust and do certain things, and she just wouldn't budge. So he tried to put her in a corner where she needs to make a decision to either help me or not, and knowing that it affects me in a certain type of way. So again, this is hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
They must have had conversations, and he
Yeah.
just didn't find a way to get through to it to figure this one thing out. And he said, let me push you to this corner and see if she's going to actually do something. Then just for me to figure out where I'm at.
Yeah.
Hey man, as guys, not just guys, everybody, going into a relationship and decide to go into marriage, hey, at the end of the day, you're going to take that leap of faith. I'll be like, you know what, God is in your hands, and I'm just going to do this. But you still want to help yourself to see if you can see something that would stop you or maybe enable you to make the decision. I mean, but human beings, I think that's how I think about that.
But then even, let's say they did get married, what if he lost his job? How would she react then? How would she be then? So I feel like for some people, if you even have the unction to even do something like that, it's coming from a deep place.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Okay, let's jump to the next topic real quick, so we don't run out of time. So this one is very interesting. My ex dances for a living, like stripper. You understand? Like she strips, not just regular dance. So like she come out clothes, nigga. You understand? So my ex dances for a living. It's beginning to affect our 11-year-old son in school. His friends somehow have got a footage of her twerking, in all these clubs, So, although we have joint custody, our son is at a point where he doesn't want to be associated with her anymore. I told her until she gets another job, she can't have him over. Basically trying to, you can, you get that. She's now threatening me with my priors, and she wants to call the cops on me for kidnapping. What do I do?
a conversation needs to be had for sure. I feel like
in court.
no.
Yeah, I'm like, what can we do?
But like, what's the situation though? Like, what's the real situation? If you like, here we go. Maybe I'm just a different person. But I feel like if we're co-parenting, like the child is what's important. So
Right.
even if we're not together and your job or whatever you do is bothering him, I'm gonna try to be like, okay, what can we do to make you stop dancing or make you do something else? Is it the money? Like, how much do you need to be making for us to be able to get you in a comfortable place where you don't have to do this anymore? Like, I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just taking the child, go figure it out, go get another job. I just wish like we would be more helpful with our community and with each other. Just because it's different if you didn't have no child and you don't have no attachment to your ex. But this is like obviously bothering your child. He's the main priority. He's the thing that's important to you. And you don't want to just shun him from his mom because of what she's doing to try to make a living. Like, that's not right, kind of thing. But that's just me, kind of thing. I don't believe in just saying, okay, I'm about to take this child, you go figure it out. Because at the end of the day, this is our child. We're co-parenting. This is our responsibility. And unfortunately, you're a part of of our lives, and that means I have to have some type of empathy or something towards you. Yeah.
That's a little. So I feel like the child should come first. At the point where the child is beginning to tell you, 11-year-old.
Yes.
And guess what? Well, I don't want to go into that, but she's 25, it's 11. So when you do that math, something is not really adding up.
What?
Stop
But-
looking at me.
But the thing is, I feel like the child comes first, and if an 11-year-old comes to you and tells you this is what's going on, this is what my friends are doing. First of all, how did they even get the video? That's besides the point. But I don't feel good being. First of all, I blame him with his friends. They make fun of him, they bully him, whatever, and then now that makes him feel a certain way to his mom, and he comes to the dad and says, "Yes, I'm feeling." He brings it up to the mom, and mom's like, "Look, hey, you do you, I'm gonna do me." I'm actually looking for the actual thread of the text message. It's a lot more that's not on what we put out. She's basically telling him, look, I make money the way I can. It's my way of making money. He needs to be happy that I'm taking care of him and I have money to provide for him. So it doesn't matter how I get this money. She's really not listening to what the guy is saying about the son. Of course, you don't like, however y'all broke up, she does, obviously they have bad blood. So she was going out, talking crap. You have priors. I'm gonna call your what do they call those people that check on them when they come out of jail?
Probation officer?
Yeah. She said, I'm gonna call your probation officer, blah 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 blah, put you because he's not supposed to be working. He probably still does those things. She was just saying a lot of shit, trying to tell him, I'm gonna rat you out.
Situation.
So you need to let me have my son when I'm supposed to have him ready for me at 12 o'clock. And this guy was like, look, I'm gonna go back to jail if I have to. You're not gonna have this boy because he's in a bad place. So that's the real situation.
So that's the context. See,
Yeah.
now that we have some context,
Well,
Just go to court.
Just
Like you said.
yeah, just go to court.
Try to have a
Because-
conversation.
But do you
if it
think the
doesn't
court is
go,
gonna, because the court is gonna go,
Joint
I mean, but he
custody.
said-
will the court tell you, oh, your job is not good? No,
But from what
he's
he's saying, he said he's willing to go to jail.
Yeah.
But going to jail is not going to put the son in a good position anyway. So any kind of conversation that he's having with her right now
Yeah.
is not going to help the situation. Because
Right.
obviously they can't come in the same they can't agree to disagree and agree, basically. So go to court, have that conversation in court, let there be a judge.
But that's the thing, you go into court, I guess this is my question, is the court, I don't think the court will, but will they ever say, hey,
You have to
Go
stop.
change
The
your
court is
No,
going
they're
to
not
make a
gonna say
decision
that.
based
Yeah.
on what's best for that child.
Yeah.
That's what
Absolutely.
the court would do.
also they could probably say,
So-
okay, yeah, you not have
So,
custody?
yes.
they'll
Yeah.
give them the sole custody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they're
would-
going to make the decision based on what's best for that child. And that's what the court would do.
Yeah, especially if they feel like the environment is unhealthy or detrimental or anything towards that child, they're gonna be like, okay, you get custody now.
Okay, let's go through the chat real quick. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. Okay, yeah. Loretta said, why do the 11-year-olds have cell phones? Good question. Ali says, if he is that bothered, he should try and have a conversation with her and find out how they can work things out, not to punish her. This is really kidnapping. Watch out.
Wait, say it again?
She said they need to have a proper conversation and not punish her. Basically, she's like, yeah, this could be kidnapping. This is kidnapping.
Yeah, it is though.
Is it?
What? What's kidnapping?
Because if she has custody of him during that time and he's supposed to drop the kid back off where he doesn't, that technically is.
Well, it says that
No,
they have
if it's
joint
a
custody.
parent, actually, if it's not, if they don't
It's
have
joint
a
custody.
court
Even
ordered
if he- like, so-
custody agreement and stuff, then either parent can have the child. Like, it's not like, oh, you didn't give me the child back or so after
Oh, they
this.
don't have
Like,
custody?
they would have to go to court then to establish like, oh, who would have sole custody. So he wouldn't be considered as kidnapping, taking his own child.
Even if they
Well,
have
Even
joint,
if-
so you know how sometimes
But
they may
it has to be established first.
Okay, so what if they have joint custody and it says the first 2 weeks you have him, the second 2
Yeah,
weeks?
that-
Yeah, then
they
it
have
would be
something like
kidnapping.
Right,
Yeah.
oh, so right now
They
they
do,
don't
no,
have
they do
that.
have that.
They have
Yeah.
that.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he can't just do that off of him feeling like, oh, well, I'm gonna teach her. No.
Yeah, you have to go through the court.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, who is that damn Jade? Had mom worked at McDonald's. Please read that. Just let me let you take
Well,
it.
I didn't see that.
Wait, where you see that?
It's at
Oh,
the
okay.
bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Mom worked at
I'm
McDonald's,
talking
kids
about-
would still tease.
Oh, kids are
about-
kids. If his mom worked
They
at
would teach
McDonald's.
them that people are gonna always
Read the
have
rest
something
of the
to say.
comments
You
first.
shouldn't be ashamed of his circumstances. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't agree. Like, he's a child.
And he's
His
11.
friends are seeing his mom in that. Nah. I don't, imagine your friends are seeing your mom and you're that, especially, you're grown now, but imagine being that age and your
At
kids are
11 years
teasing you.
old.
So you're telling
Yeah.
the 11-year-olds to be strong and just don't worry about what people say.
And these kids are ruthless.
I feel like the adults have more of a control of this situation to not put the child in that
Savage.
situation. You said what?
These kids are savage.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's worse, especially with social media. You got
Let's look at
This
this
piece
comment.
of
Look at this
equipment.
comment. Grace says they need to talk to him and explain that his mother's career is okay.
who said this?
It's so funny.
She said some people have a 9 to 5 and some people strip.
I mean, there's a point, but how do you get yourself to tell your child your mother is a stripper and that career is okay? I mean, it's okay. Is it okay? I mean, it's okay now. It's more.
I feel like how would you
I
tell
feel
your
like
friends
certain
that?
things need to be not discussed in front of him. Like, you know, like there should be certain guidelines. Oh, you not twerking in front of him, not dressing in certain type of clothing and stuff. That's the type of, you know, things you want to do for your career behind closed doors, and that's fine. But don't expose him to that world until he's old enough to kind of comprehend. I don't know, like.
But you know,
It's
he
a
said
thin
that there was a
line.
video. He saw a video or something.
Yeah.
So I was just
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, so she needs to not
who
be
sent
doing
it?
I don't
His
know.
friends have a
Hey.
video. Let me know.
His friends have the video. So like it's out there.
Mhm.
Maybe she got an OnlyFans. I don't know. Like,
Baby.
This is so
No, but
messy.
I'm still. Go
So how do you
Go over
explain
Grace
to an
comments.
11-year-old? How do you explain to an 11-year-old
Like,
that?
I'm with the. It's tripping a career though. I mean, I'm trying to. It's a career.
I mean, are we
Think
about
about
to?
taxes, so it's a career. No, I don't know.
How long are you gonna do that for? I'm a little confused about that.
So is stripping okay?
Hey, a little.
I feel like it depends on the circumstances. I don't know.
I mean, just stripping. Is stripping okay? Have y'all been in a strip club before?
I honestly, don't hate me guys, don't hate me in the comments, but I just don't think people should strip. I don't think women should strip. I feel like women, like, it's just devalues somebody. I think it's not in like support or help somebody's like self-esteem or their worth or anything like that. It's just like, I feel like when I think of strippers, it's just like you're using them as like entertainment or as like something it's not, I don't know, it's just, I don't think women should strip or just take off their clothes for money and then have men just throwing money at them, entertain. It doesn't sit, I don't personally like it. I'm not saying that, it doesn't sit well with me. I don't personally like it, especially if I see so-and-so's daughter doing it. Or it's just like it's not like in a disrespectful way or I look down on them or anything. It's just like, I just wish it wasn't a thing. And I just wish it wasn't a thing.
When you call it stripping, that's probably when it has that thing to it. You should just call it professional dancer. That's a career, that's a profession.
Well, when I say professional dance, I think it's something else.
Yeah, even if you're a professional dancer, your clothes don't come off. So if you want to just have people dancing, that's different. But the fact that their clothes are coming off and it's like it's in front of a group of people and all the different things, it makes me sad.
Okay, let's run through the comments.
He said it's a job.
Alisa says he should have a conversation with his mom. A lot of people saying, yeah, good son probably needs to go talk to his mom and just have a heart to heart with his mom. Greg says kids are assholes, whoosh, so they make fun of other kids for dumb stuff. The son is Embler Igwe. The bigger picture is that he's more concerned with what people think. That could end up super bad for him in the future. Caring and following what other people think, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Someone says it doesn't matter. Stripping is something that you can do for money, legally though.
You think that's
Oh, somebody says my mom was a dancer and she was a young mother.
Can we talk about that?
Okay.
Can we just wait and talk about that? About
Which one?
the whole not caring what people think.
Like the son shouldn't care what people think?
Yeah, no, I mean the fact that people have a problem that the son cares what people think. Like, what was you just make this comment about like people are 50 years old and they
Yeah,
still.
and they still care.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah.
in school. What,
Oh, yeah.
11 years?
11 years
Middle
old.
school?
Yeah. I know the son should care. I will care what people
No,
think.
like
This-
people's parents go in debt because they care what people.
Yeah.
So why would you come for an 11-year-old boy who's getting teased because his mom is stripping for caring what people think when you got credit card bills because you care what people think?
Right.
Like, let's just be honest. Let's talk about it.
Okay. I mean that's a good point as far as that goes. I don't think. I mean, an 11-year-old telling you how to think is very, very normal. If up until I mean, as human beings, we tell people how we feel and what we think about stuff. And
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with caring about what people think. At the end of the day, you still want to be able to stand your own ground and be able to reflect in a healthy environment and say what you think. But at this, he's 11 years old. He's allowed to feel how he feels. His mom is stripping. It's clearly impacting his life. It sounds like her and his adult needs to maybe even think about doing something else because she has a child. Like it's one thing if you're stripping, you have no child depending on you. Your life is not impacting that person. You can do whatever you want. But the moment you bring a child into this world, your actions you should watch your actions and what you do and how you move because it reflects on that child. And that's just being socially responsible. So we can't put it on the child.
Yeah.
The child didn't ask to be in the situation. The child is just reflecting on how the situation impacts him. And he's allowed to do that. So I think she needs to check herself and the father needs to come in and find a way to have a healthy conversation in the court so they can resolve the situation.
I want us to touch on one thing before we go to the next. I see in the comments majority is saying that it's okay for, like what you were saying, okay for for people to strip and have that as a career or whatnot, and also going with that, I'm gonna go off this comment. So the person says, there are people who do jobs that help people, but it's more socially accepted. If we're taking kids away from strippers, then let's take them away from scammers first.
Oh,
That's a big comment.
Come on.
But
Come on,
the-
Kristen.
I
Let's
would
talk
say
about
that the first part of that, taking, basically, if you're gonna take a kid away from the stripper, take away from other people, blah, blah, blah. So we're basically saying, in other words, let the kids stay with the mom. You know, if they can find a way to figure out how to not affect the 11-year-old anymore, whatever. But you can take the child away from the mom because of what she does, and I'm with that. But I guess the part I'm trying to have us talk about is, at what point does how that child feel become important? At what point does that child, you know, you get what I'm saying? Because I don't care what anybody say, yeah, he's 11. At some point, as he gets older, he's going to start hating people that come around his mom, because you know how people do with strippers.
yeah.
At some point, he's just going to start doing stupid shit because he just don't like what she's doing.
Or
Now
he
he
can
may not
resent
understand.
her.
He actually
He
understands
can
it
resent
now.
her.
He
Yeah.
can start resenting her at this age. Then he becomes a trouble youth. Like he can.
Yeah.
The way he feels about her can come out in so many ways.
And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
He shouldn't be removed from his home or from her custody completely, but they do need to have a talk together. If they can't do that, they need to have a talk with the court. But
No, and this is insane. Let's forget about the
court
situation
stuff.
with the dad right now.
Okay,
Let's talk
so-
about a mom who has a child and she's a stripper, and your child is grown up and seeing these things that you're doing. I'm sorry, she's a professional dancer. Your child is seeing the things that you're doing, and me as your child, I'm starting to tell you I'm feeling some type of way. I'm starting to resent people coming around you, people coming to the house, or just whatever it may be. Yeah, she might try to shield him from that part of her life, but at some point he begins to get a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
And then how does that play out?
I mean, I'm sure that she has to want something else, because nobody says to themselves, well, I'm not a female, so I don't know, but no professional dancer says to themselves, I'm going to be a professional dancer for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I feel
Somebody-
like you have to
You're
have
gonna
an
age.
end plan.
Somebody
or
says it's a
something.
career, so career
It's not a
is,
career. It's not. A career is something that you do all your life.
Because
Nobody's
social
out
media
here.
is not.
Nobody's seen somebody at the age of 50 retiring from their career as an exotic dancer or a
True.
professional dancer. Let's be real. Let's
But
not
social
even.
media is hyping it up right now, so that's
Yeah.
like, I guess, that's on a whole other level.
So I mean, he might be the manifestation of her desire to want to do something else, because maybe she wants to do something else, and now reality's hitting her, and the child is like, okay, Mom, I have a problem with this. This happened. Like, that's that push to, because there's nothing wrong with evolving. Like, so I mean, she could look at it one way, oh, this is what I do. You gotta get used to it, or she could look at it as, okay, well, this is my opportunity to start looking for something else, because obviously the mental health and well-being of that child is as important as her methods of bringing money into the household, into her household. There's other ways to make money, right? So it can't be just stripping.
It should
Yeah.
definitely be separated. Like, it
I like
should.
what Preston said. He said this kid's feelings are definitely important and valid. We have to take them into account. There needs to be a very honest conversation and see if they can come to a conclusion. I feel like a lot of our parents, they didn't start off rich. Like, some of them was probably working at McDonald's when they first moved here. Some of them were doing things they had to do, but they had a conversation with us and like, Mommy has to work late because she's trying to put bread on the table. Like, Mommy has to work at this job right now, but she has a plan and things are gonna get better. I feel like if you let the child know, like, this is what's happening for you, I'm trying to make this better for you, what the other people say, the kids say, it shouldn't matter, because the kids, their parents is putting bread on their table too. So it's just like, I'm just like, a conversation really needs to be had. And I feel like the mom needs to be willing to meet her child where he's at and really just try to figure out, how do you feel? How does what I do make you feel? And then try to say, let's try to figure this out.
That's a tough one, honestly, because if she's a 25-year-old stripper in society right now, think about the way
Exactly.
everything is in society, and you tell your son, you and him are having this conversation, it's different to tell him, so I'm working late because I had to do overtime, or I'm taking over a shift at a hospital or at Chick-fil-A, wherever. Your son is not getting teased at school.
Yeah.
And if he is, okay, it's like, whatever. Compared to your child seeing a video of his mom twerking naked, other kids, that's two different things. So I feel like at that age, I mean, there has to be a really strong son or somebody with a thick skin to really accept
Mature,
and say,
yeah.
very mature, yeah, and say like, okay, you're right, Mom, I understand. How long could you do this? 2 more years, and okay, I get it. Because I mean, if it was the shoe was on the other foot, in all honesty, at 11th, 6th grade, Sharpstown Middle School, no. I would be embarrassed, head down. And people would say, well, why would you be embarrassed if Mom was doing? That's me. Everybody reacts differently. Everybody has their own way to receive things like that. Me speaking, if my mom was to sit me down at that age and tell me that, I will understand behind closed doors. When I got to school, if people were teasing me and making fun of me, passing the video around, no.
But you would still.
And
but,
social media, so that's the main thing that everybody posted on TikTok or whatever. So it's like you can't run away from it, even if you feel like you love your mom so dearly. I just don't know.
But whether
Take this comment out. Grace says now, when she quits stripping and she can't provide for him anymore, which one is going to be more embarrassing for him?
I was just about to say, like, what if you had the conversation is had? What would you still? Are you like against the conversation being had, or are you against the outcome of the conversation?
Neither. You should have the conversation with him. No matter what, the conversation has to happen. And regardless, he may be receptive to it or he may not.
Right.
But you have to have the conversation. Now, we can't put a gun to his head and say, well, if your mom stops dancing, you're going to be homeless. Or if your mom keeps dancing, regardless how it goes, that child is a child. They're not thinking like an adult. So he's not seeing if my mom stops. In his head, we can move it with dad.
Right.
Or daddy isn't dancing and he's doing it. My aunt isn't dancing and she's surviving. Like, you don't know. Bill's mom at school, whatever, they're not dancing. So in that child's head, we can rationalize and try to make it sound, but you have to really think about it as an 11-year-old kid.
Right.
In today's society, a 25-year-old mom.
So if it was you, would you be okay with not having, like not going to bed hungry, wearing the same clothes over and over? Because you know strippers make money. So he's not money.
Not all strippers make money.
So it's not like you at Payday.
No.
He's rocking the
Not all
latest.
strippers. Not all strippers make
Okay.
money. Let's be clear. All these strippers out here that talking about they make money, y'all ain't making money like that. It's only a certain kind of stripper that makes that much money. The strippers that invest into themselves, and like it's a lot of strippers that's not investing into themselves to get to where they can make that top dollar. And those other strippers are doing a whole lot more than stripping to make that top dollar. So not all strippers will make money. I'm sorry, I know some broke strippers.
You see, that's why it's a complex because it's like it's not just taking off your clothes; it's so much more attached to that lifestyle.
Now, if you're looking for like fast money here and there, yes, that's there. But you're not going in every night and making thousands of dollars every night. I'm sorry.
And that's what really bothers me because it's like, okay, yes, what he knows about is this video, but then what about is he being exposed to people like her friends or her clientele? Like what's the environment like for him?
Yeah,
and that's what I'm.
If he comes to her house, most likely we don't know, but most likely, I mean, from what we're saying, he could be seeing 1 or 2 people pull up, whatever it may be. But no, let's we need to keep moving. It's actually kind of tough because it's just if you go through the comments, a lot of people say a lot of things that are making sense, but at the same time, in the situation, on that particular situation, it's kind of when you go with one thing, it just opens up something else. Like I saw somewhere when also said that it's the internet, your video's gonna stay up there forever, yada yada yada, and then your compressor saying, yeah, those videos are not going to go away. The mother can become a precedent, and people are still going to tease the child with that video. So changing a job is not necessarily going to solve the bullying situation. So it's just so much, I don't know. And then here somebody else says life is hard, period. If you're okay with stripping, then be okay with your daughter stripping or your son dealing drugs. Your lifestyle and decision making will be embraced by your children. I don't know about that. And what? But there's a lot going on in this comment, but we need to push forward. Good conversations, good chats, good contributions. Makes sense. Grace says, talk to your kids so they have understanding. I feel like a few conversations will really clear things up.
Clear
maybe
what
a
up?
little bit, but not completely.
Clear up.
It's not really gonna oh hey boy, I'm a stripper now. Yeah.
Is Grace a stripper?
She's not. She's an accountant.
Okay, so what is Grace talking about then?
She's an
But
accountant.
she just talking.
Yeah, she's just talking.
My
I
boyfriend.
don't know what
No,
she's
she
talking
giving
about.
her inputs, you know.
Okay.
Anyway,
Come up here and give your input.
No, definitely.
No, definitely have this talk. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The talk has to be had.
The talk of accepting that.
Not
She's gonna-
accepting, just saying
Oh,
that.
that's what I was trying to understand. Is she saying have a talk to accept
No, just to
her?
like.
alright,
Explain.
let's move to the next
Sorry.
one real quick. We can continue this conversation, some more time, but let's jump to this one. Quick question for everybody: are y'all before you get in a relationship? Does a physical appearance, is that a deal breaker? If someone don't look good,
Yeah.
before you get in a relationship, do you look at the physical appearance before you jump in a relationship? I think I do.
Yeah.
But everybody does, right? All right, let me jump to this. My sister is really beautiful. She recently started seeing somebody that is not so good looking, a guy, of course. She says he makes her laugh, and he is the sweetest guy she's ever met. I just feel like looks play a huge part in a relationship, and if she is not attracted to him physically, then things will end badly. So what? She's trying to help her sister. She's trying to help her sister out.
That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
No offense, but that's your
I mean,
sister
I don't
is
agree with
already
that
in
at
a
all.
relationship with him.
I don't think things will end badly if.
Yeah.
Wait.
So basically, your sister's in a relationship, and she's saying that, hey, yeah, my sister probably got into a relationship neglecting that he doesn't look good. But she feels good. He makes her feel happy. But she feels like things are gonna end badly. So she's trying to basically tell her sister to end things now before it gets worse.
Why would things end badly?
Yeah.
Because
Because he ugly.
it doesn't look good. Because he ugly.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
Remember, that's what I asked y'all before we started. Do you look at looks before you get in a
I've
relationship?
actually been in a relationship like that where he wasn't attractive, but it was the inside that counts. So that's when I
So
started.
that was an ex, right?
Huh?
You probably don't get to
No, we're not together.
So what? No, please
But he
share.
passed away, but that's what so what the heck? But no, it was the inside that counted. Like literally, like I was the happiest. Like that was not the happiest I've ever been because I'm kind of happy. But I'm just saying, like it was a happy time in my life.
So you would have been okay, like if everything had, if he hadn't passed or anything, you would have been okay being with this person.
Yeah.
Like, his looks, okay.
Okay.
It was the inside was like, oh my God. I was like, wow, your heart is so beautiful. Like, and then it started making me attracted to him. I was just like, oh, you got a cute little smile. Okay, yeah. Like, that started being cute to me. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, I get it.
No, but how do y'all feel? I mean, because that's why I asked, before you get in a relationship, do you care about what the person looks like physically? Is that like, I'm like, your face is just looking...
See, my face be snitching on me. Because I'm trying to, I want to be a good person and be like, yeah, it looks don't matter, it's the heart, it's the inside, all that good stuff. But that's not true. It's not true. Like, not for everybody. It might be
But
true.
it is true,
No,
though.
it might be true for some people, but let's say that it might be true for some people, but it's circumstantial because you don't know why people decide to talk to people they're not attracted to. Did you have a bad relationship in the past that you feel like, okay, all these types of guys are gonna treat me this way? Let me go to a guy that nobody wants. Because I know some females.
No, it can-
No. I know some females who would date guys they're not attracted to because nobody else is attracted to them and they feel like there's no competition. or
Okay,
they're
that's one
safe.
thing, but
So it's just like-
can't you as a human being be like, you know what? I'm not going to pay attention to what the outside looks like. I really just want to pay attention to what makes me feel good as a person. And I want to be around somebody that has that matches that beauty on the inside.
No, there are
There's
people like that.
absolutely nothing wrong with
No,
that.
there's nothing wrong with that. I said there's people like that, but for me, and for most of the people that I know, that's not the case. Because guys, let me tell you about guys. Guys will never settle. I feel like a lot of us, when they think of people dating somebody that's not attractive, it's always the girl dating somebody that's not attractive. You don't see guys or hear about guys saying, I'm going to date this girl that doesn't look good. I don't hear that conversation a lot. There probably are
Unless
some.
you have a nice body.
Unless you have a nice, but
Yeah.
something's nice in their eyes. Something got to be nice to them. It's not like, because if the face is not nice, the body's not nice, nothing is nice, you're gonna tell me that a man is just
No.
gonna be like, you said, no. So,
Man is not looking at
Yeah, then you
A
got
man is
to
not looking at you.
Yeah.
so I'm just like, there are some guys who just care about the heart and that's it. But majority of people aren't like that, and I just feel like as women, we don't have to be like that. We don't. I feel like a lot of pressure in society says, oh, if he treats you well, date him. If he's taking care of you, date him despite how you look. Are you telling your son that? Are you telling your son to love that girl? She's holding you down, take care of her.
That's not how she looks.
Or are you like, so I feel like let it just be like an equal balance thing where, yeah, if he's allowed to choose because of how somebody looks, let us and then me be allowed to choose because of how somebody looks. Like I'm for.
So you're going with.
So let me ask you this: if you're basing who you date on how they look, and these relationships aren't going anywhere, at some point, once you say to yourself, I need something's wrong, because at this point you have to realize, okay, I'm attracting this behavior that's not working, that's not allowing this relationship to work. So at some point you're gonna come to your senses and say, you know what, stop. Let me focus on healthy relationships. And somebody comes along that may not be the usual person that you go up to and start trying to date or whatever, but you're attracted to that person because you're focusing on what's healthy, and that's what's been brought to you. So, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No, but I feel like the problem from the beginning, you said if you're basing whether you date somebody not based on how they look, that's the problem in general. Because there should be
we already do that. Yeah.
No, but I feel like we do that, but that's not what we really do. If I see a guy and I'm just like, oh, he's cute, I'm not just gonna date him because he's cute. I'm gonna be like, okay, is he smart? What is he about?
People say that, but
yeah, but you have to be real. So you're in the store. The initial contact, though, like if you're walking in the store and a dude walks by, he's not attractive at all. Are you even noticing?
Yeah, no, because I don't think you're attractive.
Right, and he taps you and he's like, can I get your number? Are you gonna give him
like,
because you think later on his heart may...
No, I'm not.
Right.
But I was honest from the beginning and said, I was honest from the beginning and said I'm not that type of person. But I said that, but in regards to your scenario, I would think the girl, I don't think you should just necessarily say, I have to switch to unattractive guys because the attractive guys I've been dating are this. Maybe
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying focus on what's important to you intrinsically. That's really all that matters. Whether the person's attractive or not attractive, don't even think about that. Just focus on, okay, I want a healthy relationship with somebody that's patient enough to love me and care for me, and I'm patient enough to love and care for them. That's all you gotta focus on.
Yeah.
And then let God bring that person to you. Now, if you're focused on whether or not this person's beautiful or not beautiful, whatever God brings to you, you easily miss because you're focusing on the wrong thing. So it's really just focusing on this, like, what do you want as a person?
No, I definitely get it, but in that scenario, we don't know why she's dating this unattractive guy. Because if it's one thing, no, I mean, like, no, that's a good thing, that makes sense. But if it's not the norm for her, so much that her sister is making a comment or her sister is feeling some type of way, that means this is not the norm.
Her sister doesn't mind her business.
Yeah, her sister can just be shallow. But I feel like there's so much into it versus saying, I don't think that we should like shun people who date because of how somebody looks, and I don't think that we shouldn't date people because of how they look. So I feel like it's just a preference thing. Like, like let everybody just do what they gotta do, what makes them okay.
If that was your sister, what would you do? If that was your sister dating somebody that don't look so good.
That's her business. It's not my business. It's not my life. Like, I feel like I'm that type of person. Like, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know what's happening. So it's not my business. If this is your choice and this is what you chose to do, then okay. It's different if the dude was a bad dude.
Right.
Then that's different. Right. But if it's just if he's a really good guy, he's just not like the best looking person in the world. That's nothing to me.
That's right.
All I know is I've been to some hole in the wall restaurants and they be having a banging food. If I judged it from how it looked, I probably would have missed out on the best meal. But that's not what I did.
Some people are willing to miss out on the meal.
I'm gonna run through this comments real quick. Let's see. So somebody says beauty is in the eye of the one seeing the beauty and the person that is not. What? Beauty is in the eye of the one that is seeing the beauty and the person that is not the beauty. Okay. Someone says some people are good looking, but their mouths. Why are we taking Panadol on somebody else's headache? Okay, that's a good point. Attraction is very subjective. Person says attraction is very subjective. I do think you need to be physically attracted to your partner, but everyone has a different taste, and that's facts. So, but if you look at that statement, I do think you need to be physically attracted to your partner. So this lady now, she says he makes her happy over. She agrees that he's not physically attractive. Do you think Do you see how? I mean, I'm just trying to read between the lines here. Preston says we all need to be attracted to our partners, which I agree with. I want to be attracted to a partner physically. She's not, but she's choosing those other things that makes her happy. Do you think, or do you see now how, I don't know, probably some way she may start craving that physical attraction and it's not there?
No, I definitely feel like that's a problem. Because it's one thing for you to, like you said, start finding
But I
things.
was happy. I started finding.
No,
Like,
you
I
started
started
finding-
becoming attracted. Like
No, exactly, but you became attractive. It's one thing for you to not be attracted at all. Because what if you meet somebody who treats you well, all these different things, and he's actually attractive, and you're really attracted to him, and then you're gonna come back home and look at what you have, and you're just like.
So that means I'm cheating at that point. So why would I meet somebody else?
No, I'm saying like that. I feel like we don't really pay attention to like reality. Like, yes, this guy is great and he's treating me well. I could even say this day for a year, but after that year, if I'm still not attracted to you, and I have to like pick and choose and build your attractiveness, that's not gonna work.
Did you have to build their attractiveness? Is that what you felt like?
No, I literally, he was like genuinely like a very sweet person. He touched my soul, he touched my heart. And I just started finding things that I was like, wow, you have a nice smile. Like you're like, I don't know, it just became cute to me. And stuff.
Exactly, but he became.
But I never feel like, oh, I would see other attractive people and I would never be like, oh, well, I wish he was in this body with this same personality. I never thought that. I was super content.
Exactly, and that's the ideal situation. But in the real life, that's not the ideal situation. Because there's people who will still be with people who they're not attracted to just because it's different or they like how they're being treated.
Yeah.
But look, at some point we get old, right? So all this beauty that it all fades away. All like you go from walking straight to walking like this. Your skin is wrinkled as hell. It look like the desert. Like all that shit fades away. So it's like you have to come to some point in your life where you're like, you know what is important for me? And it's always what touches the soul. The soul is here. And I mean,
no, I'm with you, but attractiveness is not looks based only.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem, that we look at attractiveness and we just think it's looks. Because let's say she doesn't think he's attractive, so that means you don't like his looks. Do you like how he walks? Do you like how he talks? Do you like how he moves? Do you like how he handles situations? Because attractiveness is built on so many things.
Yeah, he may not be the most pleasant in the face or whatever, but he might have swag, he might dress nice, he might always smell nice.
Then you're going to be attractive.
So there you go. So
sometimes there's levels to the attraction, but I feel like what is the problem with the sister? Is he saying that he's just...
She needs to mind her business. That's her problem.
We have about 15 minutes. I'm gonna jump on this one comment and we'll go to the last topic. Melissa says, can we talk about how some of the most attractive people can be the most insecure?
Oh, that's very true.
Talk about it.
That's very
The
true.
system may want better for her, but that's this is the part where she is here. I think we can put that down as a topic and talk about that some other time, because that's really true. Why most attractive people tend to be the most insecure. Jump to the last topic, or the last situation. I'm sure we'll run over this pretty quickly, but it's kind of interesting. My girlfriend of 3 years wants me to remove a tattoo that I got during my previous relationship. I'm a body art lover. I love tattoos. I have tattoos for every milestone in my life. These tattoos represent a time in my life, and even though we broke up, I learned a lot from the relationship.
What is the tattoos?
Is it somebody's name?
Is it her name or her face?
It wasn't a name. It was some, like you know how people get matching tattoos, like half of her, half of her.
Oh, I would want him to cover it up though. Yeah, I think I would.
I wouldn't.
So when they see each other and they be like, oh hey, like what?
That's
No, he needs to cover that up. Like
they can't do that.
They're not together.
They're not
so
together.
what they just see each other like I don't know, they just run into and they be like, oh, they be like, who is this? Like, oh, you know, like.
But then why would that bother you?
No.
I mean, like I feel like if I'm the person that this guy chose to be with, I'm the person that he chose to be with. That's it. Like, I'm not gonna worry about the other one or their tattoo together, because it's just like, it's you. If you was who he wanted, you'd be here. Y'all still be doing this together.
So if he had a tattoo
Of a girl,
on his chest, and you love laying on his chest, and every time you lay on his chest, you see that tattoo, that wouldn't bother you?
Other what? What is it?
Whatever
the girl's
it is.
name or
It's a
something.
symbolism
I know I
of
would be
past
very
relationship.
bothered.
No, I would be. That's the thing. I would be bothered. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you're a good person and all, but this right here, this right here is making me uncomfortable. And instead of making you do something that you probably don't want to do, because I'm not the type of person to just start making demands on somebody, I just don't think this is gonna work.
So you just tend to.
It just won't work.
Okay.
What if you just really liked him though? Like, you know, you still would just like throw it away?
I really like him, but I'm not gonna just come into his life and be like, oh, cover this up or do this, and like, I don't like that. Like he said, it means something to him. So then that means I'm gonna come and start taking something away that means.
You feel like that's like a piece of hurting, right?
I feel like
it reminds him.
Yeah, it just depends what the tattoo
Tattoo
is,
is.
honestly.
It depends what it
Something
is,
like half a
definitely.
heart, I don't care. Now her face, that's your birthday gift. I'm taking you to go get that removed.
That's
no,
if
that
you
has
want
to
it.
go.
So what if he doesn't want to remove the face?
Alright. Peace.
Okay, you said it to me. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, we're not fighting.
We're not fighting about it. That's the thing. It's like I don't want to fight. I don't want to trouble you.
Yeah.
Like it's just not gonna work. And if he asks me why isn't it working, why is the tattoo such a big deal, I would just be like, it makes me uncomfortable. And if he cares enough to say I'm gonna cover it, then great. That's awesome. But I'm not gonna be like, remove it.
I think if it's a face, like a name, I see that. But if it's like an object, inanimate object,
Yeah.
those type of thing, no.
I guess y'all just think before y'all get tattoos. Think about it.
Think about it.
But wait. Can we ask it from the opposite perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if y'all were dating a girl and she had her ex dude's name.
Because women are more likely to get them in.
Exactly, like she had her
I
ex
don't have a
dude.
problem with it.
I'm talking. She had the name, maybe the
I have a
birthday.
I'm telling you now, remove it.
Would you go to the point and say remove it or cover it up?
Yeah. If I felt like, yeah, I would. If
And
it
if
was bothering
she
me
said she
like
didn't
that,
want to, what would you do?
if she didn't want to, like cover it up or remove it,
It
it's
means
probably
something to
not gonna
her.
work then.
Yeah.
It means something to her.
Yeah,
Like this is.
no, it's a problem. It's not gonna
It
work.
reminds her of a season in her life. It's important.
Nah.
Or you in a new season. Or you can travel back to the past and go back to your season or whatever. But no, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. But you see how this is a different perspective.
Remember I said that's standard. If like I said, if it was a name, if it was something legible like that, boom in my face, let's get it off.
Yeah.
If it's just an inanimate, if it's just like an S curve, keep that shit. What's my business
But
with
then
S curve?
I feel like-
Because a half heart is what that. I mean, if it's an inanimate object, I'm not too pressed by it.
Because for me, it's more like, in my mind, it's a symbolism of that represents a past relationship. Don't put your past relationship in my face. I don't want to. Seriously, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. We're here in the present, so let's focus on us. We're building a future based on us, not stemming from. No, I'm good.
I mean, I think
don't need
I'm just more. At the end of the day, the tattoo is not there. They have memory. They have other things that can remind you of this person or that situation. You know, so I'm just. We're here. If it's a name, of course, I'm feel some type of way because I see that name right in my face, and I expect a woman to feel the same way if a guy has his ex person's name on wherever. But if it, like I said, if it's just an object, even if it was just a heart.
You want him to remove it?
No, it's fine if it's a heart. That heart can now be me. I mean, there's no name, it's just a heart. It's just a tattoo of a heart.
Would you ever worry about the feelings attached to that tattoo? Because for someone to go and get something tatted on their body, they felt some type of way about
That's
that
how I-
person.
that's
So
how I
would
would
you
feel.
ever
I
feel
feel like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
most of that.
And that's what I'm
but
saying.
even if the tattoo was gone, would you still be worried? Like, if let's say the person lived in the same city with y'all and everything, would you still feel some type of way?
I mean, you don't need a tattoo to symbolize that, but if I do know about my ex's past or whatnot and what that meant to her and know that, like, for instance, like I have a problem with somebody I'm with still talking to their ex, whether it's on a
Yeah.
friendly basis or what.
I hate that
Like,
friend
I'm the
stuff
kind of
with
person
friends,
that
no.
is like, what's the point of that? That's somebody from the past. Why?
Oh,
So I was saying, you don't like people your
Yeah, like
to be
I feel
friends
like I have a
at all.
problem with that. Like,
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I do
Why?
too. Because I don't feel like anybody who been inside of somebody should not be friends. Like,
Exactly.
it's all friend stuff.
Thank
like,
you,
there. Somebody is, if one person is turned off, say for instance, the woman is like, oh, I'm over it, we can be friends. friends, because that's how women usually are. Like, oh, you know, that's my friend, that's my homeboy now and stuff. But the man in the back of his mind is thinking like, dang, I remember when I used to be up there, like, and he probably
And
started
that's
making
just
passes
real.
at her and stuff. Like, no, somebody
So-
is gonna still be attracted to somebody.
I feel like, well, here's the thing. I feel like that's where maturity comes in. Unfortunately, not everybody's mature, right? That's fine. But I don't think I have a right to tell somebody, don't be friends with this person no more. Again, that's especially if they're truly just, it's casual, it's a cordial, high-by type of, like, how do you expect, okay, if you see your ex walking down the street like this, you're not gonna say hi and keep it moving?
No, I'm not gonna say nothing.
You're not, again, it depends on how
Yeah.
y'all broke up, it depends on what happened in that relationship, but some people actually leave relationships healthy, you know, like, we're leaving this, we're going our separate ways for XYZ reasons, you know, but we're living healthy. So if I see that type of person down the street, I would say hi, bye.
Hi, bye, it's
I'm not
fine,
gonna
but
disrespect
like,
who
oh,
I'm with.
let's hang out sometime and stuff like
No,
that's
and that's
fine.
what I'm saying. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna disrespect when we're trying to go back and hang out and you know, we're not doing that. But hi, bye, good
That's
to see
fine,
you.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine, but we're not.
Are you sure it's
we're not-
fine?
Well, I'm not personally gonna do that, but I'm just saying like hi bye, but like why do you need to establish a friendship or you know like why are y'all hanging on to this friendship? I personally
There's no need to exchange
don't like
numbers.
that,
There's no need
yeah.
for us to
Right.
be texting back and forth because it's not. If I'm in a relationship, like a present relationship, there's no reason for me to be texting any of my exes
Oh, that's
on a day-to-day basis or
That's
fo-
facts.
like
That is big facts.
what is the point? There is no point in that.
And she doesn't need to wish you
Yeah.
happy birthday.
And this isn't the ex is in a relationship
You
where
be having trouble with the happy birthday?
It'd be like, happy birthday. No, it's not.
Really? So you wouldn't wish your ex a happy birthday?
I would if he's single. I'm single.
Yeah,
if
being
I'm in a
respectful, yeah.
relationship,
No, but-
you respect. I respect my boyfriend, my current boyfriend. I
So-
don't feel like
So, why would you only wish somebody happy birthday if they're single?
because you don't know how their partner may
Again,
see
you're
it.
not saying happy birthday, what we're doing tonight. You're just saying happy birthday.
But a simple
Period.
happy birthday. So you don't look. Women dig deep. Well, I do. So like cause that can go both ways. She could text. Okay, first of all, women are very trifling. I'm saying it. Women are very sneaky and can be. So you can't just say like, oh, I wished him a happy birthday. That can be received. What time did you send it? 9 o'clock? Did you send it at 11? Did you send it at 12? And even if she sent it at 2 p.m., if a woman has intention on getting him back, little things like that could be her trying to get her way back in the picture. Even though I trust him to know that he won't or he will inform me, it's a respect thing. So I just feel like if I'm currently with you, I'm going to respect all of you. And I think you should do the same. So if that's an ex, that's an ex. If I see you in person, hey, we should not be texting. Don't message me on Instagram. Don't call me, text. Like, for what? My partner. I'm
What-
all of him.
What if they have a kid?
Oh, well, you don't have those situations.
What do you mean?
I'm not.
What do you mean?
No.
Wait, what do you
If
mean?
they have a kid, what does it mean?
Let me like, what if y'all have a kid together, like,
Oh yeah, that part.
and y'all aren't together, but y'all have a kid together? You not no happy birthday, no nothing.
Okay, wait. If there's a kid involved, because at the end of the day, we're parents, we're co-parenting. So that's just being mature. Be mature. Be mature about it. To me, I feel like, yeah, happy birthday to my child.
Me and the
What
kid
if-
said happy
Yeah.
birthday.
What if it was a happy birthday at 10:30? What if it was a happy birthday at 10:30 p.m.?
We're toasting right now, sis. We can't respond. We're toasting right now. We can't respond. It's his birthday. Like,
No,
no,
I just
we're
feel like
done.
that's a little too.
No.
I get it. Your situation,
Yeah.
the way your mind process is your mind process when you think. I'm just. Like you said, what if there's kids? What if, forget the kids now, what if it was just a friend group? Like, there's people who get into relationships with random dudes, but people get into relationships with friends who are friends. Like, like, y'all are friends, you have a friend group, you have this going on, yada. And you let things go, it's not a bad breakup, it's just outgrow each other, we're moving forward. You're doing your thing with your life, I'm doing my thing with my life. Why would you not want to say happy birthday to that type of person?
Will it kill you if you don't? That's the real question. Will it kill you if
No,
you
that's
don't?
facts. That's a good one.
It's not gonna kill you, so just skip it. It's
So
okay.
James brought up a good point. He said you're worried because you know the ex. What about the other men she's texting that you don't know?
Oh,
That's a good point.
so is that the issue that you have?
What? You're worried because you know the ex. What about the other man?
Yeah.
different because, so that's basically saying like your partner can't have friends of the opposite sex, right?
Opposite sex.
No,
I mean, 'cause
you
technically-
can have friends that are women. That's,
But just not an ex.
yeah, not an ex. And when I say friends, friends, genuine friends, not friends that in the past we kind of had a thing and it didn't
Ooh,
work
I
out.
cannot.
I was just about to say,
Like
what about a best
genuine
friend?
friends.
What about the, you know how guys have female best friends?
No, not my man.
They can,
First of all.
I think, wait, a best friend.
Best friend, like, you know, that's the homie, like, that's the
I
homie.
feel
And
like
they've never talked, they've never dated, they're just really good childhood friends.
it's okay.
Okay.
But I feel like before we approve of that friendship going any further, I need to hang out with y'all because a woman's intuition, you know, like you would know if they are genuinely friends, or if she has a thing for him, or if you and her, like you would know something to me. I feel like you would know. But other than that, yeah, he got a friend. I'm okay with
So he can wish happy birthday to his best friend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through this few comments here and we'll run down. What was that? Okay, you gotta talk about what if you had a child together. Somebody says that some people are friends before getting in a relationship, and that friendship may not necessarily fade after the breakup. That's what I was trying to highlight, but we talked about that. A person says you don't have to hate the ex, but fellas, let's keep it a buck. That friendship is forever changed. After the relationship ends, you can never have the same type of friendship again.
Yeah.
And that's facts.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
facts.
saying-
True.
I'm not
That's
saying
big
be a
facts.
friend. It's just,
Big facts.
you just don't want to cut off every,
Yeah.
you can cut off everything actually. But I'm just saying, you know, if you see each other on the street, you don't do this.
Yeah. Speak.
That's just, hi, oh, you're well, great. Good seeing you, and keep it moving. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, good conversations, man. Last comment, person saying, man and woman can definitely be friends, but after you cross that relationship line, things change forever. Good conversation, guys. I enjoyed myself. I know y'all did. It was a good
Yeah,
talk.
that's a good talk.
Appreciate y'all for coming out.
For sure.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
If you're still on, go ahead and click the subscribe button somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, it's right there,
Just,
right by his
just,
foot.
just find it and
somewhere.
subscribe.
Just click
I
on
can't
it.
really tell you where it is, but it's somewhere. Just go ahead and subscribe. And we do this every Sunday, so be sure to tune in next week, Sunday, 2 o'clock. And we're going to have more interesting topics, conversations. And if you want to join the show, if you want to be on here, there should be a cast link somewhere in the description on the YouTube, or on this YouTube. Go ahead and just fill out that form and that link, and then we'll call you out, just come out. Good conversation, just vibes. We just talk, man. We just chat.
If you have good topic suggestions, you know, hit us up and let us know as well.
Let us know.
We'll give credit where credit's due. You know what I mean?
We'll try to. But go ahead and like this video
Yeah,
for
like
us.
the
Share
video,
this link.
subscribe. Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all had a good time?
Yes. Great conversation. Great conversation.
Y'all got some last words to throw out to?
Shout out.
Okay.
Shout out to my brother Preston.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who Preston
Okay,
is.
brother. Shout out. Thank you for the support.
Yeah.
All right, thank y'all.
Stop coming in at BBC Peter. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for coming out, man. Good conversations. See y'all next week.
What's up?
Good times, good times.